Weather Center, variable clouds and a high near 67.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering 24/7 security solutions for homes and businesses. Call them today at 708-889-5600.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan Proft here. AOC, 2028 presidential aspirant, maybe. She went on a podcast of a reputed comedian. I don't know. Ilana Glazer. And you decide who was offering the comedic lines on whether or not one can earn $1 billion legitimately.
There's a certain level of wealth and accumulation that is unearned, right? You can't earn $1 billion.
That's right.
You just can't earn that.
That's exactly correct.
You can get market power. You can break rules. You can do all sorts of things. You can abuse labor laws.
Yep.
You can pay people less than what they're worth.
Yep.
But you can't earn that, right?
That's right.
And so you have to create a myth that since you didn't earn that, you have to create a myth of earning it.
Interesting. Follow-up question, if I can interject. How do you gain market power? Oh, right. You gain market power just like you gain compensation and accumulate wealth through violating the law and not paying people what they're worth. How do you know what people are worth? Well, they're worth whatever I say they're worth. I see. Just as a illustration of the counterpoint. Ken Griffin, he's a billionaire. Since he's been in the news lately, it's a pretty good example. Our friend Scott Atlas posted this little analysis that he apparently did, which is a good one. When Ken Griffin and Citadel left Chicago, the total 3-year impact, 3 years ago, just the last 3 years, $846 million in lost taxes. You think the city and state of Illinois could use that cash? $2.65 billion in lost spending. In 3 years, it's a $3.5 billion economic hit to Illinois and Chicago. And that doesn't include the many, many millions that Ken Griffin provided in terms of philanthropy. You know, like the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry, like the Griffin Bike Trail. It's astounding. But that's of no interest to AOC, just like this multi-billion-dollar development that Griffin's a part of in New York City is of no interest to Mamdani. Okay. Stephen Moore is an economist. He's also the author of The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity Again, co-authored with Art Laffer. What would Art Laffer say about that statement that you heard from AOC, do you think, Steve?
Good morning, Dan. By the way, you neglected to mention that I'm also a billionaire.
Are you?
You know,
really?
No, I'm not a billionaire, folks. But actually, you know,
if you are, you earn that money illicitly.
But I've been really lucky in my life to meet a lot of billionaires in my profession. And one of the billionaires I was very close to, who had become a really good friend, was Fred Smith. And Fred Smith, as everyone knows, was the founder of FedEx. Mm-hmm. And the story really is pretty amazing that, he served honorably in the Marines in Vietnam, came back, went to, I think it was Harvard Business School, and wrote his thesis about how he was going to create this overnight package delivery system that would include global, and he got a C- on the on the idea. They said it would never. The academics said it would never work, right? And he built the greatest transportation company, arguably ever, and he did it, with his own grit and determination, and became a billionaire. But it's a perfect example, though, of the studies show very clearly that, when somebody becomes a multimillionaire or a billionaire, either by starting a company or inventing something, that about 80 to 90% of the benefit does not go to the Fred Smith. It goes to everybody else who buys the product. In other words, billionaires are really, really good for the rest of us because they produce things that we want. That's called the free market system. And so the idea that AOC, who's never actually earned anything herself, would say,
well, she did work as a waitress, So
yes,
I guess,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll count that. Yeah, we'll count that.
We'll count that as
she wasn't paid what she was worth, but she did work as a waitress. Yeah.
But so we kind of laugh about this, but I have to say it's getting a little scary out there. I mean, you saw the healthcare CEO who was murdered. You're just this kind. It's almost like we're living in Gotham City in Batman, where we get kill the rich. They're the problem. Or maybe it's the French Revolution. But I do think that this is a frightening time. That people are getting on the left increasingly violent in terms of their hatred of the rich, and in Chicago, because that's where all you folks are, that you're losing your wealthy people, and when they leave, they take their jobs with you. And Ken Griffin obviously is the perfect example. I've mentioned many times to you that story in Crane's Chicago Business of when he left all of the charities, saying, "Gee, where did all the money go? He's not giving us money anymore." And it was everything from the homeless shelters to the soup lines to the adoption centers, and you're right, the museums and the cultural centers. So what is with the left that they what is it, eat the rich?
Well, there's something else too. I got to send this to you if you haven't seen it, so you can put it in your Unleash Prosperity newsletter. Somebody posted pictures of the first offices of NVIDIA, Alphabet, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta.
Oh, I have to see that. Yeah.
The first offices are all the homes of the founders.
Yeah.
And
most of them.
Most of them. Bezos is, home where he started Amazon is perhaps the most opulent, but it's a very middle income kind of home. Those 6 companies, all companies started, in somebody's garage or home office.
Yep.
$21 trillion market cap combined.
Yeah. It's amazing. Or think of someone, now the story is that we may have a trillionaire, that Elon Musk may become the first trillionaire. But I mean, think of what the guy has done for SpaceX and all of he's got like 6 or 7 major businesses that he's created. We need more of that, not less. And, you asked me what would Arthur Laffer say? He would say, if you tax something, you get less of it, and if you tax something less, you get more of it. So if we want more businesses like the NVIDIAs and the Anthropics and the Googles, we don't want to punish it. We want to reward it. And this is the reason. I mean, God bless America. Out of the top 10 technology companies in the world, 9 of them are here in the United States. So we're dominant in the tech area because we let people get rich. It's not a sin.
Well, AOC earlier this week called Elon a billionaire con man with a lot of money. Well, by definition, he's a billionaire. He's a lot of money, but he's just a con man, according to her.
Yeah.
Speaking of, no, I wanted to get to something that you did, your red states, blue states, because as you write on X, the biggest wealth transfer in American history isn't happening on Wall Street. It's happening on U-Hauls.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's true. So the big winners of this kind of changing demographics and geography of America is that about $2 trillion over the period from 2012 to 2023. This is all based on IRS data about where people are moving to and from and what their incomes are, that the blue states have lost about $2 trillion over that period, and the red states have gained. And, of course, the big winners have been – do you know what by far the biggest winner has been? Which state?
Ron DeSantis land.
Yeah. Florida has almost half of that wealth is in West Palm Beach and Tampa and Miami, et cetera. In fact, I was just in Miami this week, and every time I go, Miami's skyline looks bigger now than the New York City skyline. It's unbelievable. And every time you go, there's a new massive, sky-rise building being built there because Miami has become the capital of Central America, basically. And so the money walks. And people do vote with their feet. And when you get states like Illinois and states like New York, and by the way, all the blue states are now doubling down. Have you seen this? I mean, screw these people. We're going to just keep raising their taxes. The dumbest thing that's happened of any state in the last 5 years is the one blue state that actually worked pretty well, that was very competitive. Well, do you know what state that was?
Colorado?
Washington.
Oh, Washington. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
But Washington State. Do you know why?
No income tax.
Yeah. Washington was one of the 9 states that had an income tax. They were the only blue state that didn't have an income tax. Guess what they did last month?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Howard Schultz. What they did is they forced Howard Schultz to move to Tennessee. That's what they did.
I mean, the stupidity of these people. So they basically slayed the golden goose, and so they went from being the lowest income tax state in the country. I mean, you laugh or cry about this. They went from being the lowest to now they have the 5th highest income tax. Gee, that's going to really make the and Seattle's. Yeah, you're right. Starbucks. I predict within 5 years, Starbucks will be gone, Amazon will be gone, Microsoft will be gone. It was a hub of incredible entrepreneurial companies, and they're going to be leaving. Good job.
And just
it's going to be more equitable. It's going to be much more equitable right now because they won't have those billionaires anymore.
Yes, equality and deprivation. Right. This period that you looked at, this slightly longer than decade period, just for our listeners, Illinois minus $395 billion. For these government-oriented, government-centric voters here, who are, who buy the politics.
Yeah, but I wanted to mention something about since you brought up Chicago. I think it was Chicago where because there's so many of these blue cities that are doing so many crazy things. I think it was Chicago where they were one of the was there Walmart or Walgreens, they were shutting down.
Walgreens on the south side got shut down, and
you can't shut this down. You have to stay here. You're going to create Chicago's going to be a food desert. That's their favorite. What do they call it? Food deserts? Yeah, nobody's going to be able to buy food. And they Walmart was it Walmart or Walgreens? I forget which company it was.
Walgreens.
Yeah, and they said, we've been saying for 5 years, if you don't do something about the crime, we're out of here. And they did nothing. And now they're leaving, and all the leftists are saying, oh, you're creating a food.
Well, here's what's coming next is we're going to make corporate abandonment, because that's what they're calling it. Corporate abandonment is going to be a crime in Illinois. You're not allowed to leave. We're going full East Germany.
Exactly. So,
but I mean,
know if people can't leave, guess what? They never go there in the first place.
Well, I just want to get back these numbers too, because this is for the handful of people on the left that listen to the show. If you buy the government-centric line and government needs more money and the schools need more money, stuff, $400 billion over the last decade, the state has driven out of here. You think the cut that the government gets of $400 billion could be useful even if you're just a government-centric hack? I mean, it's just remarkable.
Yeah. So let me just do the math for you. So roughly, the state and local tax on $400 billion is $40 billion, another 10%.
Yeah, right.
So that's $40 billion the government lost because of their stupidity of driving these folks back. But I think you're going to have to put, like, as you said, a Berlin Wall around Illinois and New York City and Los Angeles. By the way, the other thing is now they've got some evidence that the people who started those fires in Los Angeles did it because they hated the rich, and a lot of the politicians that let Pacific Palisades burn down, they're just a bunch of rich people.
Yeah, well, that's booing the candidacy of one Spencer Pratt. No, I know. Yeah, that's right. We talked about earlier in the week, the Palisades arsonist was inspired by the guy who assassinated the United Healthcare CEO. It's sick stuff.
Yeah.
Stephen Moore, economist, author of The Trump Economic Miracle. Thank you, Steve.
Okay. Have a good weekend. Bye.
You too. Take care. And Steve joined us on the alphawealthgroup.com answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
At Signature Bank, going the distance for business banking customers is what we do every day. We understand that business